let's review this YouTube thing, this YouTube journey, how anyone can think that you are going to be able to easily become a YouTube star overnight. You got to do your 10,000 hours.
Everything I've ever done in my life, I didn't want to do. Everything, every day. If you want to be great, you could be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. If you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you can do, you've arrived.
But is this YouTube game even worth it? It's not a game. I'm sure many of you YouTube creators out there have thought so many times. Why am I not getting views? Why am I not growing? Why am I doing this to myself? Summary of a book called The Dip by Seth Godin. It absolutely inspired me because it made me realize so many little things, and I'm going to share them with you today. So stay tuned. If you're anything like me and thinking of giving up your YouTube journey, I think this is a great time to watch this video. According to Seth Godin, everything worth doing is going to go through the dip.
Well, I may not have bought the dip, but I did buy the dip.
What the heck is the dip? Well, we're going to find out soon enough. So if you are wanting to give up, or you're sick and tired of making endless videos and just feeling like sometimes you even feel like it's getting worse. It's like going down. Like you start off quite well.
Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering.
You get quite a few viewers because you tell everybody, hey, come and check out my video.
Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself.
And they all come. And so then you think, yes, this is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. It's fine. Everyone's doing YouTube. Everyone's going to make some money. We're all going to get rich together. I mean, there are millions of viewers out there and we can all take some money from the pot. Until the dreaded dip hits.
Stay hard.
What do you think, Kitty? Do you know anything about the dip? What on earth? Kitty! Hi, my sweetie. What do you think? You know what? At least I have some encouragement from someone. Kitty's decided that today's the day to give me some encouragement to tell you the story. I agree. What do you think? So let's get on with it. So somehow we need to master. We need to master the dip. The dip at the dip at the dip. So you spent years, you've been creating, you've been editing, you've been filming, you've been going to different venues, different places to video. You've been epically monitoring your editing skills, honing them, becoming the best of the best. And it's just this slog. It's this long slog. It's just like me being a pianist. Do you really think I became a great pianist overnight? I did not. There's something to that 10,000 hours.
Say it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill.
I think it's more than 10,000 hours for certain things. I mean, I've done more than 10,000 hours on the piano practice. So let me just see, 40 years of piano playing, and I still haven't perfected the art. I mean, you can never be good enough. So let's review this YouTube thing, this YouTube journey, how anyone can think that you are going to be able to easily become a YouTube star overnight. You got to do your 10,000 hours. And the 10,000 hours, what people don't tell you is there's going to be a dip. Seth Godin, let's go. Let's see what he says. So you've been making tons of content, spending hours, editing, reviewing, watching thousands of other YouTubers to try and decide what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. You've been tweaking your thumbnails, everything possible. You're obsessed. Well, I am anyway. So you're obsessed with getting this right. And nothing's moving. It's as if you are in the swamp. You know the swamp like in Shrek swamp. You're stuck in his swamp. And you can't get out of it. You can see the mountains. You can see the YouTubers that are like, they're doing it. But not you. What are you doing wrong? Well, I'm sure we're going to find out pretty soon. Everything worth doing in life is controlled by the dip.
Anything that we're looking to achieve that is really, really worthwhile tends to be a long game. Nothing is going to happen from today to tomorrow, but the long game is worthwhile to pursue for future you. you are investing in future you. You have future yous back, right? The returns will come eventually if you just stay patient and consistent enough to actually get to them.
So let's just have a look at this little graph on the screen that I've used from Seth's book. So at the start, we've got a hum, wing, then we got a and then we got a hing. And I don't think people actually tell you that this little beginning bit is so super short and this little bottom bit is so super long. But if you wait it out at the bottom, the uphill is, let me just get you on the screen, it is continuous. And once you're on that uphill, it just carries on until you decide to stop. Decide to stop making videos, decide to stop and move on to something else. So the graph, up, down, 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 along, and then up. I don't think I'm anywhere near the up, but I am anticipating it. There's always hope.
There is always hope.
I'm sure Winston Churchill had something to say about that. Okay, so what all of this is looking like is that you are now in the dip and you are, it's just endless hours and hours. I've already said this before. And you're just sitting in that dip. But what Seth is saying, and that's kind of cool because it means that this all means something. That if you're sitting in the dip, it means something. It definitely means one thing. You're sucking, or it feels like that. Or you're doing something wrong. It could be. That's why you're in the dip. Or if you're doing everything right, the dip could be signaling that you're in the right place.
I think the easiest rule that I had in terms of being awesome is to constantly undersell and overperform. If you do get to that awesomeness level, it's probably because you failed 99 times.
So according to Seth, the dip is not the failure. It's a sign that you're in the right place. It doesn't make any sense to me, but let's see what he says. There's three possibilities here. You're either sticking with the right thing, but you're not sticking with it for long enough. Or you're sticking with the wrong thing for way too long. And then he also says, when you're trying to do too much. These are three things that are causing issues in your life. So you need to decide, or you need to get some information into this brain of yours of whether you should keep pushing through. Is it really worth it? Or is it time to quit and just take on another path? Maybe your YouTube channel is just never going to take off because everything is not right about it. But all the months and years that you've been working on your YouTube channel is definitely going to cause you to have learned a few things. So why not start something else with all of those things that you've learned? Perhaps you've learned how to edit, how to film, how to talk to a camera, how to enhance your voice, how to be comedic. All of these things you could use for something else. It doesn't have to be YouTube. So you've actually learned skills along the way. So that is a plus. So here's the question. When should you be pushing through? When do you know you should keep pushing through? And when do you, when do you know you should quit? So the dip is your audition. It's your best friend, apparently, Seth says that. Because by doing it, you're kind of proving to the universe of the YouTube that you are worth investing in. And YouTube doesn't want to invest in people that are going to be sort of, like, let's think about a song like Chesney Hawkes' song, I am the one and only. It was like a bright, sparkling little sparkler and everyone went crazy. And who invested in him? Who knows? A record label. And then he was a one-hit wonder. He was gone. And YouTube doesn't want that. They want to see, is this person really tenacious? Are they willing to struggle and stay on the platform? Only then can we reward them. Also remember, for you to get anything awesome in life, you need to be prepared for it. So life prepares you. YouTube prepares you for when, bang, the light bulb moment, when everything works out for you. So it's preparing you. It's like your training ground. It's a tough training ground. But I think I'd rather do YouTube than be part of the Navy SEALs. Let's look at it this way. If everyone could be a Navy SEAL, like if everyone could do that, or everyone could be a professional pianist, then we'd have too many. So there has to be a way of like getting rid of like the weaker ones. So that's what this tip is all about in life. I'm talking about it's like a scientific equation for getting rid of the riffraff that actually don't belong in a certain area of life, of expertise. So to be a great pianist, you're only seeing a tiny percent of the world's universal pianists that have worked hours. But it's only the ones that work the hours and then they just had this inner knowing that they need to perform in front of an audience.
If there was no dip, there would no be scarcity. So rule number 4 is the dip separates the people that really want it of the people that merely do.
It's the same as a YouTuber. It's only everybody can start. They just think, yeah, easy money. And then after a couple of months, they're like, this is hard. And only the ones that say, it's hard, but I don't actually care. This is me, okay? I'm thinking, it's hard. I don't care because I actually just really love making videos. This is like my creative output, and if no one sees it, it doesn't matter to me because I've got a wonderful catalog of my life. So that's the reason why I keep going. I'm not doing it for a reason that is materialistic or something. I'm actually doing it because it makes me feel good. I feel like I accomplished something when I record, I edit, I put it out there for the world. So back to my notes here. My notes say, so without the dip equation, there would be no scarcity. You need scarcity. Otherwise, everybody would be on a stage somewhere performing a piano recital. So because there's scarcity, it makes you look like you're really, 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 really special. Wow. Without scarcity, everybody is getting what they want and nothing is special anymore. So being a YouTuber and being a great YouTuber, it wouldn't be anything special. Everybody would just be doing YouTube and making good money and no one would really care. And then you'd get all these people that are really not any good. People that aren't good at it. And then they also getting like all the limelight and all the time. You've got to have a filter. The dip is the filter. Hello? Look, we value the things that are hard to attain. Otherwise, if they weren't hard to attain, there wouldn't be anything special. The dip, it's there to weed out everyone that really isn't willing to put in the work. It's a good way to get rid of people that really shouldn't even be getting the limelight in any way. The question is, do you want it bad enough? Do you? Then hang in the dip for a bit.
That if you want it, you gotta go get it.
Look, there's super cool rewards once you get out of the dip and you get up the hill, right? And you see this beautiful view. It's like me when I'm climbing a mountain. It's really, really tough. And I can guarantee you, when I wake up in the morning and I know I've got to climb a mountain, I'm not going, I'm more like going, can't I just stay in bed today? The weather doesn't look that great. You're making 1,000 excuses, and it's the same with me when I record a YouTube video. I'm making 1,000 excuses why I don't want to do one today. But the thing is, you know the mountain. You see the vision. You're a visionary. You are willing to sit it out in the dip because you know what the view is from the top of the mountain. Guys, have you ever been on the top of a mountain? Have you ever seen the sun rising? You climbed in the dark to get to the top of that mountain and the sun is like, oh, it's rising. Or you climbed the whole day. And now this footage I'm going to put in for you because you got to see it. We climbed the whole day up this mountain. It was hard. And I just had a really hard week of teaching kids at school. And then we got to the top of the mountain.
We should all pursue the dreams that keep us up at night and the dreams that wake us up in the morning. On the journey to success, every struggle will be worth it. Every denial will be worth it. Every failure will be worth it. But to get there, you must never give up.
And I kid you not, I've never seen a sunset like that. Never in my entire life. It was... That was getting out of the dip. I don't know what they call when you get out the dip. But anyway, that's cool though, whatever it is. It's the Mount Everest of excellence. Look, you got to understand, you can't hack success. There's no shortcut here. All right? There's no shortcut to getting to the top of the mountain unless you've got a hell of a lot of money to pay a helicopter pilot to drop you on the top. So you've got to climb. And I can tell you now, the climb itself is almost the best part. It's wonderful getting to the top of the mountain. That day we climbed, it was hard, it was tough, it was hot. My legs were sore. I wasn't in a particularly good mood. But what I saw on the way up, the conversations I had with my friends on the way up, the encouragement, the fauna and flora I saw as I was climbing this mountain, that was the story. So no book is just the front cover and the back cover, okay? There's the dip in the middle where things like start off, okay, lekker, we're all good. We're going to climb this mountain today. We set off, we got our backpacks, we got our water, we got our snacks, we've got awesome humans with us. We start and we realize, ooh, I underestimated this. And then there is that moment where you're like, I'm done. I'm giving up. I've had enough now. But there's this inner voice inside of you that says, you're not done. You're not done. Can you see? Have you got the vision? Do you know what the top of that mountain looks like? If you know what the top of that mountain looks like in your brain and you want it bad enough, you will keep climbing and then you will see that sunset at the top. It's the same with YouTube. You just gotta have that vision, that inner knowing, I'm gonna make it. I just need to hang out here in the boring bit for a bit. And you know what? Every good YouTube out there actually ended up having to sit in this bit. Maybe not as long as me or you, but they sat in it for a while. And they contemplated what you're contemplating. Like, is this really worth it? There's got to be easier ways to make money. Guys, I'm here to tell you YouTube is not an easy way to make money. It isn't. It's hard. It looks easy. It's the same as when you climb a mountain. When you see all the pictures of everybody on the top of the mountain, it's like, wow, that looks easy. I can do that myself until you have to. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Did it not record that whole time? Look, you might be thinking to yourself, this is like so much energy. There's so much I have to do here. I have to somehow find the time, and I have a full-time life, and I have to find time to record, have an attitude while I record, be positive, and then afterwards is the long, drawn-out process of editing the thing and cutting out all the stupid little comments I made, all the little idiosyncrasies that annoy people, and like maybe like elevating my voice, putting in sound effects, and a little bit of music to make it a little bit entertaining. Like, is it? Why am I doing this? But the fact is, you don't really have a choice. Like, when you're called to do something, you don't have a choice. Who's that dude? That dude that was like a little bit overweight, and then he went and joined the Navy, and then he's just become this amazing motivational speaker now.
Dude, I'm climbing up this mountain, 3,000 feet in 3 miles. Because I do that every day. Everything I've ever done in my life, I didn't want to do. Everything, every day.
That guy, he grinds it, he does it. He gets up in the morning and he gets like, just do it, come on. Yeah, and there's those videos of him like running past you. And then he's like, hey, where are you? Come on, just do it. You know?
Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself. Stay hard.
When you got, but he's got like this inner thing where he got to that point where he didn't want to do it, but he did. And then somehow your whole body and system just gets into this routine of doing it. Like, I know over weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I got to record. And I don't have a choice. I get out of bed and I'm like, I'm going to record today. I don't know what I'm going to record. I don't even know if it's going to be interesting to anyone. I don't even know if I'll end up like throwing the video out, but I got to record because it's what I got to do. It's who I am. You know, I have to tell you something about this YouTube journey so far. The amount of small little improvements I've made on every single video, if I look back at my old videos and my new videos, in fact, if I even look back a month and I look at the improvements I've made in the last month, there's been an absolute escalation in my editing skills and the way I've learned. People want, well, I think I've gotten to know my audience, or at least when I watch my videos, I think if I was watching this video, would it be interesting? And where would I cut things out that people like now? I cut that bit out because nobody wants to see that. People just want to see, like, they want to see quick. But also, people want to see authentic. People want to see real. They want to see, like, someone who's not bullshitting them. Now, think about a pianist, for instance, right? I'm sorry, I'm just talking about from my own life. Let's just say the pianist, one of these little 5-year-old kids who's like a master, amazing pianist, better than me, who's been playing piano for 40 years. Suddenly, you put him up on a stage and you put him on tour. Do you think he's going to be able to make it? No. You've got to be... all those 10,000 hours, all of those hours and hours of preparation, the maturity you grow through, the mental stamina, okay, that it takes for you to practice all those hours and become that amazing is what gets you through the dark times of being on tour and being tired and being hungry. Do you think a 5-year-old that's amazing on piano would be able to withstand all the paparazzi, all the craziness of people needing his energy, needing his pianistic amazingness, wanting to be entertained by him? Do you really think he's going to last? No. And that's where the dip is there to prepare you for the ultimate. You're going to have to give a lot when you're at the top. A lot. Do you think like Mr. Beast sits day in and day out and he's like, he's like, tequila, he's just chilling on an island? No, his brain is so programmed from doing daily videos for the longest time. He doesn't know how to do it any other way, and he's become better and better and faster, and so his output is fast. If he'd made only 1 or 2 videos in his whole life and he was like Mr. Beast amazing, do you think he could churn out that many videos? No, he wouldn't have the stamina. You have to build up that stamina to earn your place in the Hall of Fame. Look, when you're sitting in the dip, I'm going to tell you now, I can't tell you how many things I have brainstormed and thought about recording, because I'm like, this doesn't really seem to be working. And because I'm not a stupid person, let me see if I can pivot, I love that word. Let me pivot a little bit. That's why I'm making this video. It's a little bit different to what I usually do. But you never know, like, if I pivot and try something else, when you're sitting in a dip for that long time, you're having to be really creative. You're having to think through the fact that everything's sucking right now, and how can I make it better? If it was better all the time, do you think you'd be coming up with these amazing, like, creative ideas? No, because everything's hunky-dory. Everything I'm doing is perfect. Everybody's watching it. I'm winning. You have to lose a lot to win. Okay, so let's just talk about preparing yourself for this dip. Okay, even let's say you just started out your YouTube channel and things are going like really cool, and then suddenly you start going into this great depression, Shrek's swamp. And how do you prepare for that? Well, you know it's going to come. It's going to come. So you got to accept it first. You got to say, look, it's going to come. I'm going to have a dip. I'm going to spend a long time in there. So what am I going to do while I'm down there? How are you going to make it bearable knowing you're going to be there for months or even years? Well, you got to just like celebrate your small wins. Yay, I got a view. So the other thing is you got to know that you're on a journey, okay? And you've done more than most people. You've actually started. And in fact, some people start and then they stop like after a week or two. I know YouTubers like that. I haven't talked to many people where they're like, yes, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to do it. And then like after 2 weeks, you see them, hey, how's that YouTube channel going? Oh, nah, wasn't for me. So just you are better than everyone else because you haven't stopped. You're still creating. So reward yourself for that. Get out a chocolate. Also, think about it this way. Like you are learning all these skills. No one can take that away from you, ever. Life lessons, life skills from your editing and all of that stuff. And not only that, you can teach people, or maybe you'll never become a famous YouTuber, but you'll become a very, very famous and revered editor for other YouTubers. And maybe that's even better. So you gotta come up with ideas that other people will love. So start thinking about that. What would other people, I love using ChatGPT because it's like, I'll say like, I need this and this and this, and it'll be like, have you ever thought about it this way? And I'm like, are you a robot? And like sometimes I'll ask ChatGPT, or I'll just think in my brain, like, what would people not want? What don't they want? I know what people don't want. They don't want like slow, boring. Okay, that's the first thing. They want to know, they want you to get to the point, right? Give me the point. Like, give me those first 30 seconds. And then give me something good in between and then end it off nicely for me, please. So people want that. And they like a cool, authentic human. Like, be authentic, be yourself. Celebrate who you are. You are cool. And there's nobody like you. I'm sure there's a Dr. Zeus saying like that. Look, I think I've also got used to like not caring what people think. I am happy to look like a complete idiot on screen. And there's no ego here. I think for you to be raw and authentic on YouTube, you need to learn to put aside your ego. You've got to learn that you're going to look stupid, ridiculous. People are going to judge you. People are going to criticize you in the comments. But you've got to like hold your own. So if you learn anything on the YouTube journey, especially if you started as an introvert and like, oh, maybe I just want to talk to people, maybe someone will see me. At least by the end, you'll be like, I am someone right now because I stick to what I believe in. And no matter what people say, I'm true to myself. That's a cool life lesson right there. While you're in the dip, more than anything, you are learning how to stay on a schedule. You are building habits and you're having to be tenacious and disciplined about the fact that to build this empire, this YouTube empire that you are making, you have to put things in place. And these type of skills you would never have had if you hadn't started YouTube. So these are all like good things about being in the dip. Now, let's talk about lesson number 2. Winners. Many winners quit, but they know when to quit. So maybe you need to look and see, okay, I'm trying out this YouTube thing, right? And I've been doing it for a long time and I'm really trying my best and I've done everything I have to do and nothing seems to be working. Maybe it is time to pivot, move on, try another strategy on YouTube or just try another platform or just don't do YouTube. But you have to quit at some point if it's not working out for you. Otherwise, so let's look at a couple of questions you can ask yourself to know whether you should quit or not. So one of the most valuable questions you need to ask yourself is, do you feel like this is your calling? Is this what you were meant to do? Is it possible for you to even quit? It's not possible for me to quit. So I'm carrying on. I'm not quitting on YouTube. And funnily enough, there is growth. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I will crack the code. I don't know, I'll get out the dip. I know that this is where I'm meant to be, so that's why I'm not quitting. Another reason why I'm not quitting is because I actually just love the process of editing and filming. I love it. And the other thing is, it actually gets me out and about. And it gets me doing these videos, talking to you right now, having read the book, The Dip, now I'm sharing it with you. And maybe I wouldn't have read The Dip or a book to get some content to film. So like I'm kind of doing things for YouTube, which I wouldn't usually do. Like sometimes when I don't feel like going out, like to an event with my friends or climbing a mountain, I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for YouTube. Another question you can ask yourself before quitting is it like good? Even though it's a struggle and it's painful, are you still getting joy from it? Are you still, do you feel like it's still inspiring to you and you're still finding something in it that is cool and creative? And I feel like I get things out of it. I told you. I don't get many views. No one gives a crap about most people in life. I mean, I don't know what the current amount is of the amount of videos that are uploaded every hour on YouTube, but it's a lot. And why should I think anyone's going to want to watch me? So I don't. I just record, put it up there, and maybe someone will see it. And then like, yo, wow, I dig this lady. She's cool. I might subscribe. Maybe you would like to subscribe now? Another question you can ask yourself is say, like, if I quit all that time I'm spending on YouTube and put that time that I'm spending into something else, would I be happier? Don't quit YouTube and then that time you were spending working on YouTube stuff just like going, huh? What time is it now? Leave me alone. I just want to sleep for a bit longer. So I guess the question there is, what are the opportunities that I'm not able to take part in because I'm just stuck on YouTube? If I stopped doing YouTube, would I have the time to take up another opportunity that would serve me better? And the other thing is, are you just being stubborn? Like you're thinking to yourself, hey, I put in hours, years, months, weeks of my life into this channel, and I'm not going to stop, even though I know it's not going anywhere. Like, think about it. Have a look at your views and your subscribers. Are they unsubscribing on a regular basis? Are your views going down and just never going anywhere? That's not a good reason to quit, though. But if you've been doing it for years and you just feel like there's no momentum, maybe you're just not meant to be a YouTuber. Maybe you just don't have that base. Maybe you haven't been authentic enough, because if you're authentic, everybody will love you. This is just like my motto in life. If you're authentic, if you show who you are, everyone will dig you. Be more authentic. Look, you can grin and bear it as much as you like, but you need to evaluate at some point, is it even worth grinning and bearing and suffering through? I think about my piano playing and any musical instrument. I actually, there are some people that have no talent that continue doing an instrument and they'll just never get past a certain level. They just weren't made. Like, I think about pianists, some people just have the smallest hands, or some people have their hands too big to be able to play the violin, for instance. You can sometimes have to look at the fact that what is sort of standing in my way of being able to like do well at this, and after being tenacious and disciplined and carrying on working on something, if it's not taking you anywhere, think about the fact that maybe you could use your energy elsewhere. As heartbreaking as that is, don't ever think that all the work you put into something has gone for naught. It never has. You've learned many things. You've learned many things. So celebrate that and then move on. Now, in the dip, he still talks about when you're trying to decide if you're going to stick with something or not. And I think it's very important what he says about sort of making boundaries. Everything in life has to have a boundary. So you have to say, what are your non-negotiables? What things am I not willing to sacrifice? For instance, if I'm running around making YouTube videos in the mountains and I'm sitting here today talking to you here, am I losing out on valuable family time? Am I losing out on self-healing time where I should be just relaxing and sleeping? You need to have a balance. You cannot be full on obsessed with something and things that are actually very important are going by the wayside. For instance, your family. I mean, one day you could be a super amazing YouTuber, but like you've lost your family and your friends because no one ever sees you. Is that like worth it? You also got to think about your emotional and mental like state. If, for instance, people just keep ragging you and criticizing you on the YouTube channel and their comments are like really affecting you psychologically, take a break. Is it really worth your mental state to keep going on with YouTube? Take a moment, take a break, reflect, take time. You are more important. Okay, just a change of scenery here because this was just the most amazing thing I just read. What Seth Godin says, if you can't make it through the dip, don't start. Don't waste your time. Don't even start because it's... Can you make it through the dip? With anything you're doing in life? What do you think, Kitty? Can you make it through the dip? Look, you only have so much time in your life. You cannot spend it on things that are not going to end up being a reward in some way for you. So, there's that too. We have a limited amount of time on earth, so we've got to use it wisely. Okay, so now let's just talk a little bit about the dip and if you're ever going to get out of it, all right? And I think I've mentioned this already. Just think about your YouTube channel. If you are sitting in a dip that has potential to escalate into something good, you will see small macro growths. You will see views. You will see people wanting to view your stuff. You will have a few more subscribers, 1 or 2 a month more than you had last month. So then it is growing. So there is potential. And the funny thing about YouTube, and in a lot of things, is that dip is so long and slow. But once the wheel starts turning and the momentum starts, you will go from 500 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers and views very quickly. But those first 500 subscribers or first 1,000 subscribers is going to feel like the longest days of your life.
like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Now, Seth has another lesson 3, I think, and he talks about, like, are you spreading yourself too thin? You can only be good at a few things in life. So choose. You've got to just decide, like, what do I want to be good at? You can be a jack of all trades and you will be a master of none. But Seth is basically, that's your prerogative if you want to be jack of all trades, but you don't really care to be really good at anything. So if you are the opposite side of the spectrum where you really actually want to be good at something in your life, you want to die with everybody saying, hey, he was a jack of all trades and he had a good heart and he helped everyone. He just learned how to do everything so that he could really help everybody. Okay, that's a cool little epithet or whatever they call those, like things on your grave, okay? But otherwise, you could just go for 1 or 2 things in your life and become really good at them. And make some money. I love this thought. So you can either decide to have everybody in the world and you're trying to impress everybody in the world, and so you'll get like 20% of their, like if you're trying for 100% of everybody in the whole wide world, you'll get like 20% maybe of them really giving a But if you give your 100% to just a small amount of people, your tribe, I like to call it. Are you part of my tribe? If you are, don't forget to subscribe. Anyhow, so if you have this tribe of people, and those are the only people you care to focus on, then you're using your energy in a really positive way, and you're going to get far more fulfillment than trying to make everybody happy in the world. Like, let's just say in your brain, you're like, how can I just get so many more subscribers? Like, I just want to make some. Now you're suddenly trying to do 1,000 different genres and a whole bunch of different types of videos, and now you're spreading yourself so thin that the tribe that you should be trying to form is never going to form, because they're never going to know what your like recipe is or who you really are. You need to get smaller, make your tribe, and your tribe will follow you around. That's kind of cool. What are you best at? What are you really good at? Have you thought about that? Like if someone just said, like, you could do anything right now, anything in the whole wide world, what would you do that you know you can do so much better than anybody else? So then show that on YouTube. Or just do that in your life. You don't have to show it on YouTube. You can just do it and get good at it and live a good life. So now I'm just going to leave you with a last little thought. And this is, if you are in a dip, you know, like me, I'm in a dip, clearly. And I hope that in a year's time, I will be able to come back and talk about this video and just say, look, I sat in the dip, but I still had this forward momentum and I still had this energy and drive and passion to do this YouTubing. And look at me now, I'm on the top of the mountain. It's only going to happen if you subscribe. But anyway, so the fact is, if you keep chipping away at the wall in the cave, you're going to get out onto the other side and see the light. It's inevitable. You will win. Win. Keep winning. Win. Keep winning.